There, 64. Tennessee Tech at Eastern Kentucky, and that one looks pretty good, too.
All right. Thanks, Lisa.
That'll do for news at 5. See you at 6.
Good night.
On World News tonight, the suicide bombers in Turkey. 27 people dead, more than 400 wounded. This time, the targets were British. In London today, 100,000 people demonstrate against President Bush and the war in Iraq. The media circus as Michael Jackson turns himself in to face charges of molesting a child. And the Kennedy assassination 40 years later. The conspiracy theories and the technology that provides answers.
From ABC News, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Reporting tonight from Texas.
Good evening, everyone, from Dallas. We are here in Dallas tonight for another town meeting on the state of the country, and here in Dealey Plaza to mark the 40th anniversary of President Kennedy's assassination, about which we'll talk more later in the broadcast. But we're going to begin with today's violence, the horror in Turkey. 2 suicide attacks in Istanbul today, very close together. 27 people have died so far, and another 440 were wounded. One attack was at the British consulate. The consul general was among those who died. The other was at the Turkish headquarters of the world's second largest bank, HSBC, which has its headquarters in London. President Bush is in London, of course, on a state visit, and this is what he had to say a short time later.
The nature of the terrorist enemy is evident once again. We see their contempt, their utter contempt for innocent life. They hate freedom. They hate free nations.
President Bush in London today, and we'll report in detail on the president's trip to Britain in a moment. But first, we're obviously going to go to Istanbul, and our reporter there, ABC's David Wright.
It was almost 11 o'clock when the first explosion shattered the day. Cameras near the HSBC bank happened to be rolling. At first, many thought it was an earthquake, but soon the devastating truth became clear. At a nearby clinic, a doctor said he knew it was a bomb when a severed arm came hurtling through the window. People with minor injuries rushed to help those more badly wounded than themselves. Ambulance! Others, caked with dust, just stood there in a state of shock. English. As one eyewitness put it, blood and tears were everywhere, a scene of utter chaos. Many pictures too gruesome to show. The smoke could be seen for miles. Then, 15 minutes later, another explosion. Across town, this time at the British consulate. The blast scattered debris for hundreds of yards and shattered windows all along the block. Eyewitnesses say the air smelled of ammonium, the key ingredient used in the bomb, according to U.S. and Turkish officials. Witnesses say Consul General Roger Short was just getting into his car as the compound's gate started opening and the suicide bomber rushed in. One witness said the van was disguised as a catering truck. Both the British consulate and HSBC Bank were targeted by terrorist bombers earlier this year. The close timing of today's attacks and the devastating method used make it clear the campaign against Western interests here has escalated. At HSBC headquarters, the facade of the 18-story building was stripped off by the force of the blast. At the British consulate, the explosion left a crater 10 feet deep.
Unfortunately, again, we lost so many innocent people, but we will continue to fight against terrorism.
Today, most of the victims were Turkish Muslims. Turkey and Britain have been key allies in the U.S.-led war in Iraq. Today, both nations paid a heavy price. David Wright, ABC News, Istanbul.
There was an anonymous call to a Turkish news agency today claiming responsibility for the bombings. The caller said that a group called the Islamic Front of Raiders of the Great Orient, known in Turkey as Ibduja, carried out the attack in conjunction with Al-Qaeda. American officials said that as of now there was no evidence of an Al-Qaeda link. Here's ABC's Jim Sciutto.
The Turkish group that claimed responsibility for the bombings was well known here a decade ago.
is suspected of killing a Turkish journalist in 1992 and another reporter in 1993. But the group had been mostly inactive since the mid-90s, and its leader was arrested in 1996 and sentenced to life in prison last year.
All these groups were crushed by the police operations. The leaders were either killed or they were jailed.
The attacks have raised fears here that al-Qaeda may be helping to rejuvenate domestic Islamic terrorist groups that the police had effectively dismantled.
It is the size and method of the bombings that Turkish authorities say point to help from an outside group. The Islamic Great Eastern Raiders Front had never killed large numbers of Muslim civilians and had never mounted large-scale suicide attacks. Officials here and in the UK suspect al-Qaeda involvement. Al-Qaeda is believed to have provided money to small Turkish terrorist groups in the 1990s. It has also smuggled terrorists into Europe through safe houses in Turkey, including this student hostel in Istanbul. Turkey is governed by a moderate Islamic party, but the country's Muslim terrorist groups seek an Islamic state based on strict religious law. Turkish authorities fear that what support they could not find at home, they may now be getting from al-Qaeda. Jim Shudo, ABC News, Istanbul.
While there is no evidence that these bombings today are linked to al-Qaeda, U.S. intelligence does say it is picking up a lot of activity from men they believe were trained by the Greater Bin Laden organization. The U.S. believes there are now thousands of these men out there and that they are becoming increasingly active. Here's ABC's Brian Ross.
American officials tell ABC News that today's attacks essentially make good on Osama bin Laden's call, broadcast last month, for followers to move against a variety of targets, including the British. And he said participants from the Islamic world are no exception. Intelligence officials say bin Laden no longer needs to order the attacks directly. His followers in splinter groups around the world carry them out on their own.
They don't need a command or resources from bin Laden directly in order to carry out what they all know is the common goal.
Before the U.S. destroyed al-Qaeda's training camps in Afghanistan, as many as 30,000 young recruits received training in terror tactics in the late 1990s. Officials believe those recruits are now scattered throughout the world, poised to carry out new attacks.
The threat has become more elusive, more complex, and more dangerous. It has splintered. The theater of operation has shifted from the Western heartland into the Islamic world itself.
That has been the case with attacks in the past 2 years. Indonesia, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, and this week, twice in Istanbul. Groups that are locally based but have financial and other logistical ties to al-Qaeda. They are attacks that have killed more Arabs and Muslims than Westerners, and some say that could prove to be the undoing of al-Qaeda's network.
Al-Qaeda is gradually plunging into a self-destruct, suicidal path because they are not only alienating world public opinion, particularly Western public opinion, but also Arab and Muslim public opinion.
U.S. and British authorities had been bracing for an attack somewhere in England and were taken by surprise with what happened in Istanbul. Peter.
Many thanks, Brian. Brian Ross. Now to London and the president. The attacks in Turkey today make it clear at the very least how difficult it is to succeed in the war against terrorism. Mr. Bush and Prime Minister Blair spoke very forcefully today about defeating terrorism in the long run. But a woman across from the British consulate in Istanbul said today, after seeing September the 11th, I don't believe this kind of terrorism is stoppable. This is the second day, the second full day of the president's state visit, and ABC's Kate Snow is in London with him.
President Bush and Prime Minister Tony Blair seized on today's attacks as yet another reason to persist in the war on terror.
When something like this happens today, our response is not to flinch or give way or concede 1 inch. We stand absolutely firm until this job is done.
The job in Iraq dominated today's meeting, and the president seemed to suggest troops might not come home next year.
We could have less troops in Iraq, we could have the same number of troops in Iraq, we could have more troops in Iraq, what is ever necessary to secure Iraq.
A senior administration official later said the president was not suggesting more troops are needed in Iraq. Demonstrators marched through central London today. Scotland Yard estimates 100,000 took part in largely peaceful marches and rallies. At one point, protesters knocked down a mock-up of Mr. Bush designed to look like the moment in Baghdad when Saddam Hussein's statue was toppled. At the news conference today, a British reporter asked a blunt question.
What is your conclusion as to why apparently so many free citizens fear you and even hate you?
I don't know that they do. All I know is that people in Baghdad, for example, weren't allowed to do this up until recent history.
That argument may not persuade many people here. A recent poll finds only 1 in 4 British people have a favorable opinion of President Bush. Kate Snow, ABC News, London.
There will be more about all this later this evening on Nightline. And one important item from Africa, the government of South Africa, which has one of the worst epidemics of AIDS in the world, has said it is going to provide free treatment to millions of people with the AIDS virus. The government hopes, it says, to provide the antiretroviral drugs to 50,000 people next year and up to 1.5 million people by 2009. It is a dramatic change in policy. Not long ago, the government claimed that the drugs were ineffective and dangerous. At the end of the broadcast tonight, a report about the Kennedy assassination and all the conspiracy theories, but there is other news in the world today. For that, we go to Elizabeth Vargas in New York. Elizabeth?
Thank you, Peter. When World News Tonight continues, the pop star as defendant. Michael Jackson turns himself in on child molestation charges. And the government considers changing food labels to help fight obesity.
Time you open the new Folgers AromaSeal plastic canister, the aroma stays so fresh it feels like the first time. Only Folgers has a unique snap-tight lid that helps lock in fresh aroma and taste and keep it in. It's so amazing, even 3 out of 4 users of the other leading brand prefer it. Freshness time after time.
Hi, this is Jim from Discover
Meet
Cards.
Jim.
Just want a $50
Jim calls
cashback
1,000
bonus
winners a day for Discover Cards Fast Track to
award.
cashback.
You just want a $500 cashback bonus award. 10, 25. That's right, 1,000.
Jim doesn't have much free time.
That's right, you won 100.
So shop with your Discover Card and you could be the next winner Jim calls.
That's right. Hey, good morning.
It's great news for
Yeah,
you.
$1,000 cashback bonus award.
Bad news for Jim.
You're welcome.
Just another reason it pays to Discover.
The experts at Oral-B are on a mission to protect your teeth and gums with the new Oral-B Professional Care 7000. Its 3D action removes more plaque than Sonicare Elite and even reverses gum disease. Oral-B Professional Care. Brush like a dentist.
Ladies, today we have a fresh angel hair pasta with a homemade tomato sauce. So sure to give you a heartburn, you'll never forget.
It's different for people with acid reflux disease.
On top of that exquisite pain, acid gonna churn up your stomach and could grate away the lining of your esophagus.
Why wait? Talk to your doctor about the purple pill called Nexium. For many people, with one prescription Nexium daily, heartburn goes away and stays away.
You could be up all night.
And Nexium actually heals acid reflux erosions in the esophagus. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. Talk to your doctor. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want acid reflux relief and healing?
How does that sound?
Ask about Nexium today.
Pop star Michael Jackson surrendered today to authorities in California where he faces charges of child molestation. Shortly after he was fingerprinted and photographed, the singer released a statement saying, "Lies run sprints, but the truth runs marathons. The truth will win this marathon in court." ABC's Brian Rooney has more now from Santa Barbara.
Early this afternoon, Michael Jackson got out of a car behind the Santa Barbara County Jail in handcuffs. His lawyer said the singer is enraged.
He considers this to be a big lie. He understands the people who are outraged, because if these charges were true, I assure you Michael would be the first to be outraged.
Jackson had arrived on a private jet from Las Vegas. The plane rolled its nose into a hangar where Jackson got into a waiting car out of view of television cameras. He was taken into custody there at the airport. Jackson had his mugshot taken, and he was fingerprinted here at the county jail before he posted a $3 million bond. While this was happening, the entertainer's brother Jermaine called CNN.
And we will stand up. And everybody that knows this family around the world will support us, because at the end of the day, this is nothing but a modern-day lynching. This is what they want to see. Him in handcuffs. You got it. But it won't be for long, I promise you.
ABC News has learned that the child making the complaint is a 12-year-old boy who met Jackson while he was doing charity work 3 years ago. The boy visited Jackson at the Neverland Ranch, and according to one source, he told a psychotherapist that on 2 occasions, Jackson gave him wine and sleeping pills.
And if it's discovered that that boy was in any way drugged in order to achieve the acts, that carries with it a life enhancement.
That could mean life in prison, and cases like this can depend on the testimony of the child accuser.
In general, the child will be able to recall and recollect with some detail the incident, and that is persuasive to a jury, even if it is the only testimony that is available.
Jackson gave a wave when he was released after booking. He's scheduled for arraignment in January. Brian Rooney, ABC News, Santa Barbara, California.
In Miami today, riot police repeatedly clashed with protesters opposed to free trade talks. Police fired rubber bullets and arrested at least 36 protesters. In Washington, Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan sounded a different note. He warned that, quote, creeping protectionism in this country could make the U.S. less competitive in the world economy. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones average was down 71 points to finish at 96.19. On the NASDAQ, stocks closed at just under 1882. When we come back, a new tactic in fighting fat, taking aim at the labels on supersized servings.
World News Tonight with Peter Jennings and this market update. Brought to you by Pacific Life.
The persistence of 135 years of experience. The performance that has enabled us to work with more than half the Fortune 500. The strength of one of the largest financial services companies in America. Rely on the strength of Pacific Life.
You've been waiting to do this for years. Don't let arthritis pain stop you. Grab some Tylenol arthritis pain with the time-release formula for all-day relief. Tylenol arthritis pain.
Hey, let's check on the guys.
Good idea.
Hot mamas to deadbeats.
Hello, hot mamas.
Where are you guys?
We're at the Tower of Terror even as we speak.
Ooh, sounds scary.
Oh, something's about to happen. Gotta go. Oh, no. Oh! Okay, it's off.
You're up, Bob.
Okay.
This year, plan a gathering with your good friends.
Golfing.
To get started, call 1-407-WDisney.
Bye-bye. Bye, Santa.
I should have used Preparation H. Preparation H Cooling Gel cools on contact for fast relief. Preparation H Cooling Gel cools on contact.
By age 50, if you're just wishing for good health, good luck. Help improve your odds with Caltrate. The same Caltrate shown in a clinical study to help stop bone loss may also help reduce the risk of recurrent colon polyps. It's never too late for Caltrate.
Sometimes you need a little help staying in the game. Ask your doctor about new Levitra. But once you get in the zone, it's good. Ask your doctor if a new choice is right for you. Ask about new Levitra.
Look good. Really, really good. Now get 50% off all lenses. That's any lens, any prescription, but only till November 29th. LensCrafters, you'll see, we're better.
What's it take to be Person of the Week? It takes a First Lady, an explorer, a high school football player, a police chief. So who will it be next? Watch World News Tonight tomorrow.
It is no secret that there is an epidemic of obesity in this country and that many Americans simply eat too much. The government is now considering changing labels on food to make people more aware of just what they're eating. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
Americans are getting ever bigger, and so too are the food portions they buy. Soda, chips, chocolate bars, all come in larger sizes. But the government's definition of a serving size has not kept up. As a result, consumer groups say supermarket shelves are filled with food labels that are confusing and make products seem less fattening than they really are. For example, this single chicken pot pie. The label shows the amount of fat and cholesterol, the number of calories in a serving. But guess what? One pie actually contains 2 servings, so you have to double each number.
Are consumers able to take a look at these single unit containers that have gotten larger over the years and make those adjustments?
Larger food containers are now so common. Few people might suspect that this lasagna dinner is considered 3 servings, and this bottle of soda is actually 2.5 servings. Today, researchers urge the Food and Drug Administration to change food labels.
They have not been devised for looking at people engaged in weight management programs, and so there certainly is some fine-tuning that needs to be done.
A decision by the FDA on whether to change food labels could come as early as February. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, Peter Jennings in Dallas and what really happened the day President Kennedy was shot.
Disciplined investing. It's not about following the crowd. At T. Rowe Price, our independent research means we're not deceived by every market ripple, and we don't chase every fad. Over 75% of our mutual funds beat their 3, 5, and 10-year Lipper averages. We have the experience to know what works and the insight to find real opportunity. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
So, think that cold will only last 4 hours?
Not with the way I feel.
Then why take a 4-hour cold medicine? Take Aleve Cold and Sinus. 1 pill gives you 12 hours of symptom relief.
12 hours? Now that's relief.
Aleve Cold and Sinus.
We're here showing folks how a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch changes regular chicken into ranch chicken.
Spices up the chicken, it's not boring.
And changes regular potatoes into ranch potatoes.
It's got more flavor to it. I like it, I really do.
Hidden Valley Ranch. This changes everything.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go right now. Gotta go.
I've got to go now.
If you've always got to go, ask your doctor about Detrol LA. It's been proven effective for overactive bladder.
Need a break?
Not right now.
You shouldn't take it if you have stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems. The most common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, abdominal pain, and headache.
I don't have to go right now.
Detrol LA. When you've always got to go.
Low prices, always. Oh. What's the matter, honey? Oh, I know just what you need.
For fast relief, take Alka-Seltzer. Effervescent Alka-Seltzer cools the burn of indigestion and pain fast.
Better, dear.
Thank heaven. Wouldn't you love to love your calcium? Try new strawberry cream and chocolate mint Viactive Soft Calcium Chews. Call 1-888-7-VIACTIVE for your free sample.
Friday, the 13-year-old surfer girl and the unbelievable shark attack everyone's talking about. Her arm bitten off, even a chunk of her surfboard gone.
I was like, oh, I got attacked by a shark.
Now, finally, she tells her incredible story.
I was praying to God to rescue me.
Shark Attack on 2020 Friday.
Finally this evening, the Kennedy assassination 40 years ago this Saturday. It was a dreadful time for the country and for Dallas. Millions of people in other places thought for a long time that this proud Texas city was somehow to blame. It wasn't, of course. And this weekend, Dallas will commemorate the assassination in the fullest way. The Texas School Book Depository over there where Lee Harvey Oswald crouched with his rifle, is now a museum. For millions of Americans, the trauma that day is compounded by the belief that there is a hidden truth about what happened here. An ABC News poll this week finds that 70% of Americans still believe that Lee Harvey Oswald was part of a conspiracy.
President Kennedy and Governor John Connally.
Ever since 1963, Americans have found it hard to believe that an event of such magnitude could have been the work of just one man. And so many of the facts in this case appeared to point clearly to conspiracy.
Suspect is again coming down the hall.
What did you do in Russia?
We learned within minutes of his arrest that the suspect, Lee Harvey Oswald, was a Marxist who had lived for almost 3 years in the Soviet Union. Was Oswald a Soviet-trained assassin? Oswald was also linked to another communist enemy, Fidel Castro. Just months before the assassination, Oswald had been agitating on behalf of the Cuban leader in the streets of New Orleans.
Consider yourself a
Marxist. Well, I would very definitely say that I am a Marxist. That is correct.
Was there a larger plot behind the assassination? Oswald himself would provide no answers.
There is Lee Oswald.
2 days after the assassination, Oswald was shot and killed on national television by Jack Ruby, a Dallas nightclub owner on the fringes of the underworld.
None of us can look at the Kennedy assassination and see Ruby's murder of Oswald and not immediately think there must be more here than just one lone assassin.
Why'd you do it, Jack?
By the late 1970s, even the federal government was embracing conspiracy. The last official government investigation by the House Select Committee on Assassinations said there was evidence of a second gunman. There are hundreds of books promoting conspiracy theories that blame the Cubans, the Russians, the CIA, the Mafia, even Lyndon Johnson.
President Kennedy was murdered by a conspiracy that was planned in advance at the highest levels of our government, and it was carried out by fanatical and disciplined...
In 1991, the director Oliver Stone, in his movie JFK, introduced a new generation to conspiracy thinking, with his sweeping vision of a government turned evil.
6 million people visit Dealey Plaza every year. There are still hundreds of news groups and websites, pamphlets are being produced, books still appear. This is a conspiracy that simply won't die.
Conspiracy theories have flourished from the very first moments after the president was killed. But now, finally, we can see precisely what happened here in Dealey Plaza. Computer animator Dale Myers has spent 10 years constructing an exacting three-dimensional model of the assassination based on the only complete record of the shooting, the Zapruder film.
This is an incredible investigation tool. You can talk about all the theories you want, but this thing happened only one way.
Myers began by constructing a scale model of Dealey Plaza, the turn from Houston Street onto Elm Street, the Texas School Book Depository, the grassy knoll. They are all reconstructed exactly the way they were in 1963. On top of the Zapruder film, Myers then animated the movements of President Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally frame by frame. When all of these elements come together, we can now see an accurate view of the shooting from any point of view. This model proves that the bullets that struck the president were fired from behind, from the direction of the School Book Depository. Our full program, The Kennedy Assassination Beyond the Conspiracy, will be on the air tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central Time. And I hope you'll join us. That's our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. Good night from Dallas.
First, fast, accurate. News 2 at 6 starts now.
Prescriptions might be limited and their costs might go up under a plan to save TennCare money. Good evening. 1 out of every 4 Tennesseans would be affected if this plan to reduce the size of TennCare gets approved.
They would. It's just one of many controversial ideas proposed for TennCare at today's budget hearings. News 2's Chris Bungard is working the story. He joins us live tonight from the state capitol. Chris?
Well, Bob, like all other state departments, as you know, up here, they've been asked
to consider how they would cut 5% out of their budget. TennCare is no different, and it's everybody involved in what happened here today said it would be painful. The state's medical coverage for those uninsured or uninsurable drew plenty of protest during the budget debates of Governor Don Sundquist's administration. Under Governor Phil Bredesen, TennCare remains a third of the state's $21 billion budget.
What would be logical reductions to make in the program?
As asked by the governor, TennCare Director Manny Martins detailed 5% reductions in the program. The most critical are in the pharmacy costs.
It continues to grow